Hey, what's up, y'all? We have made it to another Friday and another music review for On the Vinyl. So, as you all know, I recently collected vinyls. Well, I guess it's not even recent at this point. It's been solid 2 years that I've been collecting vinyls, and I have probably over 150 now. So I've slowed down a little bit, but still have been collecting here and there. So today I'm really excited to talk about this one because it's one that I've been searching for a while. I found it, but I felt like the price was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. So I found it at a good price for a sale. Actually, it was on Target's website. They had a sale, and I just looked and looked and looked through, and then boom, I found this album. So it is Kelis, her debut album, Kaleidoscope. I love Kelis. Kelis is one of my favorite artists. I think she's very eclectic, really in her own lane, and she really doesn't get the credit she deserves, I feel, in terms of launching, being one of the first artists to launch the Neptune's career. Because if you remember when this album came out, this was back in, oh, I don't even remember the year. Let me see. Let's see here. 1999. So almost 25 years ago is when the Neptunes really popped off, I'd say. Before then, I think their very first song was SWV's Use Your Heart, which is interesting because it has a little bit of that Neptune sound, but not as much of that signature sound as they're known for today. So don't quote me on that Use Your Heart song, but I'm almost positive that's their first major song that they had. Definitely one of the first songs that they produced for other artists that I can recall. But anyway, Chad and Pharrell are all over this album. They were executive producers. They wrote the songs, produced, written, arranged, all that. So if you remember earlier this year, there was this really big beef about Kelis being upset because one of her songs was sampled on Beyonce's Energy, and then it was since removed because she felt like Beyonce should have asked her for permission, or Beyonce's team should have asked her for permission first. So I get it to a certain extent, but at the same time, credit goes to the writers and the producers. So in this case, it would be the Neptunes that would have had to have given that permission. Would it have been the right thing to do to include Kelis in that conversation? Absolutely, because she's the artist. She brought the song to life. But legally, they didn't have to ask her. But anyway, getting back to Kaleidoscope, as you can see, I have not even opened this yet. So the really cool thing about this is the 20th anniversary reissue. Man, I feel like I'm getting old when I'm starting to get albums from artists that it's been 20, 25 years and they're doing these reissues, and I can just remember those times like it was yesterday. So now I feel like I'm one of those guys that's like, oh yeah, in my day. So now I can officially say that. So I purposely saved opening this for this video today. Any other time I'm able to just rip it apart, of course, since I'm filming it, it's taking me a minute. But love this packaging, love the cover. I always thought the cover was so cool. If you all remember back in 99 when Kelis came out, she had this orangey pink fire hair. She was kind of revered, I would say, as the Black Alanis Morissette a little bit at that time, because Jagged Little Pill had come out a few years before that, and it was one of the first times that you saw women being angry to that extent in music. And so when she came out with her single "I Hate You So Much Right Now," she's literally screaming on the track, which she alludes to on the song "Bossy" years later. And she's like, "I'm the first girl to scream on the track," and she might not have been the first, but she definitely was one of the first in the R&B arena, and she was one of the first to really make it cool and just be different and go against the grain at that time. But she definitely followed suit with a lot of the messaging that was going on at that time for men. Because if you remember, 1999 was also the same year that No Scrubs came out. It was also the same year that Bills came out. Pink had kind of come out around that time too, and she had the song "There You Go." She was kind of like ragging on men, and yeah, it was hard out there for guys. Well, no good guys, I'll say that. So this is so cool. This is what I'm talking about here. This is artwork. I mean, they don't really make albums like this anymore, but this is the inside of the album when you open it. It has a message here from Kelis. It says congratulations, and it mentions the 20 years, so that's pretty cool. Her acknowledging the fans with that. And they don't have any notes. I was hoping for like a booklet or notes because I love reading the song credits and lyrics and all that, which in this case, you pretty much know who wrote all the songs, Chad and Pharrell, but it would have been nice to have the lyrics too. But nonetheless, still think it was worth the buy for sure. And I love colored vinyls. So this one is an orange vinyl, as you can see. So yeah, it's like a bright orange. So let's get into these songs on this album for a little bit. So of course we have Caught Out There. She's screaming, as I mentioned, on the track. And then we have Good Stuff. I love that song. Man, the beat is just, all these beats are just crazy on here. I'm going to have to find time at some point this weekend to listen to this and revisit it because I love it. Get Along With You. If I had to pick, that is my favorite song on this album. The video is just sick. I don't know if you all remember it, but it was like this Nightmare Before Christmas type of theme. It actually is kind of a Halloweenish inspired video because it was really dark. But the special effects are really cool. I love the drum patterns against this kind of slow, drippy, if you will, kind of track. I mean, it's Pharrell and Chad, the Neptunes, they really put their foot in that song. I just really, really love it. Let's see. Game Show, I feel like it's a really cool, kind of lighthearted song. This album does a really great job, I feel, of giving some really intense emotions and then also pulling back and giving a little bit of playfulness too. So a great example of that is a song called I Want Your Love, another one of my favorites. And it's basically simply that. It's like, hey, somebody you want to be with and you want them and you letting them know. So, which is interesting because SZA's album, SOS, just came out today. And even though I wouldn't say SZA and Kelis are exactly the same type of artist, I think SZA's more mellow, but I think Kelis opened the door for artists like SZA to be able to just take off and run like she has today, because she has a little bit of that anger vibe too, but then she has the mellow, playful side in some of her lyrics as well. Another thing about this album that is so cool, as I mentioned, Get Along With You is my favorite song. So as a bonus on this album, it has remixes of Get Along With You. There are 4 remix bonus tracks, and one of them is Caught Out There. There's a remix of that, and then there are 3 remixes, of Get Along With You. So curious to hear those, and I may have already heard them before. Maybe I forgot. I don't know. That original one is banging though. I know that. But yeah. Let me know what you all think about Kelis's debut album, Kaleidoscope. Are you a fan of her music or not? What are some of your favorite songs on Kaleidoscope? If you do like it, what are some of your favorite all-time favorite Kelis songs? Also, in case you don't know, you may have seen a couple videos about this. I am launching a brand new podcast next month, January 19th to be exact. So make sure you go on over to the Water Bear Podcast YouTube channel, subscribe, and get ready to catch the drip every Thursday, and you will get a glimpse inside the mind of an Aquarius. That is my sign. And about some things that I've been told over the years about my personality. And it really sparked me to say, okay, hey, let's take a deep dive into this, and researched and found, oh, hey, apparently this is a toxic trait of Aquarius. So we're going to address that. And also all of the other signs too. So they have come along with me. Going to have some really, really great, exciting guests, some familiar faces you may have seen before on other podcasts I've done, and some brand new faces. So we're going to explore every sign, even though it's an Aquarius-based show. We're going to touch on your sign as well. So make sure you tune in. Again, that's January 19th, just right around the corner. And all right. Thanks for tuning in and catching the review of Kelis Kaleidoscope. And I will see you all soon. Peace.